Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to join my colleague, Senator Whitehouse, the ranking member on the Environmental and Public Works Committee, and the foremost voice for sensible climate policies, someone who for years has warned us of the encroaching dangers of climate change, and today, once again, has demonstrated his great insights, particularly with respect to the cost of homeowners of climate change. He is raising the alarm about President Trump's environmental policy and the effect it will have on the health and well-being of Americans. I want to thank him for his leadership on this important issue. Earlier this month, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin announced that his agency would move to repeal 31 environmental and health protections. This Trump environmental plan would undo restrictions on air pollution from power plants, cars, and trucks. It would allow harmful discharges into our water systems, relax restrictions on the emissions of mercury and other known neurotoxins, ease limits on soot and haze pollution, and the list goes on and on and on. These rollbacks appear to be a quid pro quo for President Trump's fossil fuel donors, whom we reportedly asked to donate $1 billion to his campaign last year. One of Trump's most concerning proposals is the repeal of the EPA's long-standing scientific finding that greenhouse gases are pollutants. After losing in the Supreme Court in 2006, the fossil fuel industry has been out to overturn this so-called endangerment finding for nearly 2 decades. Repealing it would degrade the EPA's authority to regulate greenhouse gas emissions, meaning it could no longer act to curb emissions from vehicle exhaust, factories, power plants, and many, many more locations. Relaxing these standards would result in more pollutants in our air and in our water. And the fact is, these pollutants are not just numbers on a chart. They are the reason millions of Americans are suffering from asthma, heart disease, and other respiratory conditions. Several studies have shown that air pollution can negatively impact maternal health and lead to miscarriages and low birth weights. And these health impacts will particularly harm low-income communities, where the effects are disproportionately severe. Mr. Zeldin claims these actions will, quote, unleash American energy, but really, they will just unleash more pollution on the American people. Mr. Zeldin claims that these actions will drive down costs for American families, but the evidence shows otherwise. Indeed, EPA previously found that for every $1 the country spends to reduce air pollution, it's estimated to yield $30 in economic benefits in return. These actions will worsen climate change and contribute to more flooding and coastal erosion, which has cost homes and businesses in my home state of Rhode Island millions of dollars in just the past few years. Mr. Zeldin claims that by rolling back these protections, he is simply giving power back to the states. But we know that pollution does not respect state lines. We are all in this together to protect our air, water, and human health. The Trump administration is taking us backward and hurting hardworking families in the process. I firmly oppose the Trump EPA's misguided plan and will continue to join Senator Whitehouse and my other colleagues in pushing back against this administrator's harmful agenda. And once again, let me salute Senator Whitehouse for his leadership on this critical, indeed this existential issue.